7:33 a.m. in Trinidad and Tobago, and our next conversation again is something to answer your calendar. This time it's the Blue Dolphins Primary School Motivation Meet happening on the 24th of November at the Center of Excellence. Now, joining us this morning in studio is Sean Pouchet, Managing Director of the Blue Dolphin Swim Club, and Gracia Gonzalez, Technical Official Liaison of the Swim Meet Committee of the Blue Dolphin team and club and everything else in between, because it feels like it's more of a family.
Yes.
Good morning, Sean, and good morning, Gracia, and welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
It's a pleasure to have you with us on the show this morning. Before we get into the details of what's going to be happening, of course, let's speak about a little bit of history behind Blue Dolphin Swim Club. Sean, we can start with you.
Sure. Blue Dolphins has a rich history. We are one of the founding members of the former Amateur Swimming Association of Trinidad and Tobago, which is now the Aquatic Sports Association.
Okay.
Founded in 1958. We celebrated 50 years in 2018, just before the COVID. We speak to the forefathers of swimming, Joey Kaufman, and we have a rich history of some Olympians coming out to the club, from dating back as far as Jeffrey Ferrer to Sebastian Paddington and Kerry Ann Gibbs. So we have quite a strong history in the competitive arena. We have focused a lot more on the developmental side of swimming as well too, where we have developed our Learn to Swim program, which has been a feeder for a lot of the aquatic sports in the country, not only to our club, because we focus primarily on swimming, but I think that we have laid the foundation for water polo, synchro, anything else that they want to get into from a swimming perspective, from an aquatic perspective. All right, so yeah. We have a rich, my family has been involved in the sport for a very long time, and we continue to contribute positively.
Beautiful.
To the sport.
I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth, because I was going to say foundational,
Yeah.
to say the least, and definitely a great way to start. And it's interesting because, as you mentioned, being foundational and being a feeder for so many aquatic sports, this, I guess, is the first of many, the Primary School Motivation Meet. How did this come about?
Well, it came about because we were looking at a new approach to encourage athletes and to also level the playing field. There are a few other entities that do primary schools meets as well, and they all follow the same format. You know, we have a category which is competitive, which are the kids associated with clubs and who compete a little more regularly, and then there are the kids that are either through school programs or who not as regular in terms of their practice, that they will have a category for them as developmental. One of my responsibilities as a club administrator and part of the Aquatic Association is to really get the participation up in terms of the competitive arena. Because right now we are a bit short in terms of the numbers to get the excellence at the higher levels, the senior levels. So it's a simple mathematical equation for me. You get more people in at the beginning, your probability of getting success will be higher at the higher level, right? So we said we're gonna try and level the playing field, have all the kids swim together. So typically we swim in age groups, like 7 and under 8 and 9 and 10 and over. What we did this meet is to put kids by their individual age, so all 5-year-olds swim together. So it's a little less intimidating for some kids.
Right.
But it's also an opportunity for them to all swim together to see where they stand amongst their peers. All right, and we are using the time standards, which is used in the United States and a couple other developed countries, with respect to giving them an idea of where they stand in terms of, am I ready for competitive swimming? Do I need to do a bit more work? Am I really pointing to go into this thing to represent the country and so on? So these time standards that we have set are based around the qualifying standards that we have for our national meets.
Now, it definitely sounds all quite technical, so we're going to bring Gracia into the conversation this morning as a technical official liaison. Now, we were speaking briefly off air. You were sharing the fact that it is a little bit different when it comes to what he just expounded on, which I'm definitely not an expert in, so I'm not going to be able to repeat it verbatim. But Gracia, tell us, from your experience thus far, you're a part of the Swim Meet Committee. Have you seen that interest ramp up since it's an open call in some different categories?
Yes, it's a bit different. It's good that we have, normally the ASAT would have, according to what Sean said, you have each group. So now we're looking at all the 5-year-olds, from 5 go all the way up to 11 and over, but it's primary school, so you wouldn't have much 11-year-olds. So what we're trying to do is also get lots of the primary schools involved. We have a little challenge in that it's close to exam time.
Right.
So we call in, as I've sent out to some of the schools I've contacted, I've told them that because it's age group, you don't have to spend 4 or 5 hours at the meet. So if you have a 5-year-old that's preparing for the test, end of term test, they can come, swim their 4 events, and then they can head back home for studying.
Right.
So it's going to work out really good for them.
That's great, and it's fascinating as you mentioned that as well. It's something Ink and I were talking about when we opened the show this morning, which is November just came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, the last week of teaching is here. Exams are upon us, but this is such a great way as well for the children, I think, to break away from that monotony.
Yeah.
So I would love to know. Let's come back to you, Sean, as the managing director of Blue Dolphin Swim Club. Do you see swimming as positively contributing to the children's holistic development, and you see an improvement in life in general?
Definitely, I think. Most extracurricular activities, they instill a lot of discipline. Once they come to the level, they will instill the discipline of time management. It will be we try to create a very positive environment for the young swimmers, the young athletes, student athletes at that. So, and we also try to work around their schedules with respect to understanding their educational commitments.
Okay.
It has been a challenge, especially when you come up to the SCA examination time and the CSEC and so on. And we have worked with the athletes, but we try to, as much as possible, keep them involved, because I think, as you said, it's a good release, another avenue for kids to channel their energies and to get away from the monotony of doing that schoolwork for that many hours.
Right.
So definitely, I think it's a great asset to be involved in extracurricular activities. Of course, I will always put a pin in there for swimming, but all extracurricular activities are encouraged.
Understood. Now, Gracia, this is open to all primary schools.
All
right?
primary schools in Trinidad and Tobago.
So, firstly, before we get into how we can get in contact with you, is there a cap as to how many children can participate?
All swimmers can participate in this meet.
So if 1,000 swimmers come,
Yes, we can facilitate 1,000 swimmers.
I wouldn't say that, but
it's like disclaimer.
But we have hosted the National Primary School Meet for the last almost 2 decades, and we have had as many as 600 plus swimmers, and we pride ourselves in trying to make it. I believe in sport entertainment, and even at a young age, I think to encourage people into your sport, you can't make it monotonous, you can't make it boring, you can't be there whole day to swim 4 small little races like 25 meters. So we try to do it by age categories, and we try to make it such a way that it's entertaining, and you just enjoy yourself for a short time. It's like a game. You don't want to go a football game for 6 hours.
Yeah.
You understand? It has to be entertaining. It has to have a time span to it. So definitely, we want to encourage schools to participate and understand that this is something that I could be part of. We have been trying together with the association to change the way that meets are run.
Right.
All right, so that we can encourage more people to be part of it and not see it as well, I had to spend 5 hours by the pool. I don't know if I want to do this, for my weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
weekend definitely, and of course, as you would have mentioned, Gracia, children who have exams. So we're just shy of about 40 seconds left in the conversation. How can we get in contact with the swim club if you'd like to be involved?
You can contact Sean at 744-9598. We have the Blue Dolphin swimming.
we have Instagram, we have
Facebook,
and we also have a dedicated phone line, 794-SWIM.
794-SWIM makes sense. And what time does it start on the 24th?
Warm-up starts at 7:30, and that's for the younger age groups, and we'll send out a schedule for the kids.
There you go. So everything that you need, of course, happening at the Center of Excellence on the 24th of November and the beginning of many, yes?
Yes.
All right. So, well, Sean, thank you so much for joining us. Gracious, thank you so much for joining us as well. It's been a pleasure. I can only imagine how busy you are. And for everybody who's ready to go out and swim, go and check out Blue Dolphin Swim Club and this incredible meet that's going to be happening on the 24th. And stay tuned, because there's something incredible you don't want to miss after this break.